Hello and a very warm welcome to our continuing coverage of the World Cup season. Today we're in Chengdu, the central Chinese city becoming something of a regular stop on the circuit.
We've got a lot of really strong Australians here as well. It's a big team from them coming out for one of these, the first Olympic distance World Cup of the year.
Rhys Fannisett is an interesting one, just going off your screen, number 10. He said something that quite amused me when we spoke to him pre-race. He's a Texan, Rhys, and he said Chengdu's the biggest city I've ever seen in my life, and that from a Texan. It is actually the fourth most populated city in the country. It's got 21 million people, so it is more than Dallas or Houston, but even so.
Rhys Fannisett, who you mentioned earlier, this is his first Olympic distance race, so it's going to be interesting to see how he copes with that step up in distance, just coming out of the junior ranks. This is his first year as an under-23 or a senior.
Looked a clean start. The Chengdu World Cup is underway. And just a reminder that this being Olympic distance, 15-second time penalties in operation for any infringements.
Yeah, and last year there was a breakaway in the men's race. They had a great swim. I can't remember how many were in that breakaway, but maybe 4 or 5. But Marc Devey was fourth, so just slipping off in those final, I think it was like the final kind of lap of the run, just came off the back of that group. So he'd love to get on the podium again. I know he's had one World Cup podium and it meant a lot to him. He tends to do better over an Olympic distance course. I think that suits his strengths. It was great, and it was great to see Devey. He was obviously in good spirits in his interview yesterday, and I think he seemed really confident and really calm as well. He said he's been here a few times before. He really likes it here. He likes the venue. So I think, yeah, I think for him, he would definitely rather a few more hills, something kind of maybe a little bit meatier on the bike course. But I think that relaxed kind of attitude, and you see that obviously helps him when it comes into racing. And we can see the men in the pack behind, they've spread out a little bit so they're not side by side really close to each other, because that does tend to slow you down. So they're trying to do everything possible to swim their way over. I don't think they've made much, well, they've pulled back anything though. If anything, they've lost, haven't they, over this second lap?
Yeah, that gap's definitely increased, no question.
There's Kropko. Look, he's trying to come round Devey just for that last bit. Not sure if it's to give a hand, because there's not much left now, is there? It's just maybe to be first out the water.
Yeah, it's a bit Hungarian bragging rights at stake here with these two. Maybe they're trying to get away from Dupuis, I don't know. Anyhow, just a little slip there from Kropko. He's okay. Dupuis right there. And then there is a big gap. The leading trio are on their way, and
they've got about 30 seconds. That's just from sight then. I'm looking at the timing.
So how many are we going to have in the chasing group? 2, 4, maybe 10 or 12, unless we get some really aggressive riding from 2 or 3 of them.
See, this first part of the course is quite twisty, turny. Nothing's technical at this point. It's just a little bit rolling, a little bit twisty. Then they kind of go out of the venue, bit of a turn.
30 seconds near us, damn it. So you were pretty much spot on, Helen, with that gap. So how well can these 3 work together? They've done so much hard work in the water, got themselves a lead of nigh on half a minute. Can they stay away? 2 Hungarians and the Frenchman. Now, has that gap narrowed? We're about to find out. Yes, it has. They've eaten into it by 10 seconds on that first lap, the chasers.
He has.
Wow. Big move then from Devey. We saw how aggressive he was in the water, and now he's doing a similar thing on the bike. Didn't think the other 2 were going quickly enough, so he's gone on himself.
He said on one of his social media posts this was starting I think it was his 11th World Triathlon season. So he's a very experienced racer. Oh, we can see that group.
Yeah, they're going to swallow him up, aren't they?
Yeah, it looks ominous, doesn't it? That big group behind at this point.
Yeah, so both Kropko and Dupuis are now in the quite large chasing group, and it looks like it won't be long till they catch the leader.
This is must be now the second group on the road, and there's Rhys Fannisett, because he's not in that group that just caught Marc Devey. So we're looking now at the second group.
They're about a minute back, I think.
Yeah, just coming into the venue now.
Yeah, well, that might give the second chase group a bit of hope that they can catch on.
Yeah, well, I think if that gap was, and they're hearing good news, because if they're getting timing splits, that gap was at a minute something that's come down to about 38 seconds. So it's definitely going the right way for those chasers too. Again, we're going to get that other split now, see that time's come down further. Was at the 20-second mark between the two groups.
22, yeah. So they're going to come through now. This is halfway on the bike.
That's it, they're together, aren't they?
Wow.
That's a big pack now.
Well, it's going to be 41 if they all stay in that chase pack. No one dropped off the back, it'll be 41 men. First time since they all came together that we've seen the pack really unable to close down a break.
Another athlete over there now. Is that Luke Schofield?
I think it is, yeah, it is. So Schofield and DeVay, I'm not sure what happened to Retteret.
And we can see from the back of that group there's a lot of athletes. They're quite sat up. You know, you can see from they're a bit more upright on the bike. They're not on the drops. They are not pedaling hard at all. So it's great for these two who are off the front, willing to work hard.
So a Hungarian and an Aussie leading the way now on the 6th lap. So they'll take the bell here with 1 lap to go, these two leaders. Now let's see whether they've extended. It was 25 seconds.
Corbett from New Zealand, who's just slightly off the front of that group, really trying to get this group working. 46 seconds.
So they put 20 seconds into them. They could get themselves a minute lead here, you know.
That's amazing.
Oh, Schofield with a far better transition there, and already he's 20 metres clear of Mark DeVay. Might not be for stopping. Early days, obviously, but it was an excellent transition from the Australian.
And we talked earlier about whether it's important to be good as a junior, and Schofield said he didn't really start taking triathlon seriously till he left high school. He wasn't really picking it up, wasn't even really on his radar until then. So
which is really late.
Yeah, he did he swam as most Australians do, yeah. Started doing a bit of running. It was all very relaxed even through university. So an athlete that's kind of really come good at the elite level just that little bit later on. So they're not always massively important to have been doing it loads as a junior.
So DeVay's done well to get back onto the shoulder of Schofield so quickly.
51 seconds.
So they eked out another 5 or 6 seconds, the two leaders. Lachlan Jones on the chase along with Corbett of New Zealand, but here are the two leaders. Schofield with DeVay on the shoulder.
Copeland's there as well. Zhang from China, good transition from him. Yeah, I think mentally this run is quite tough. The straight out and back, and then seeing everyone on the way back. They're going to know really easily if they're kind of losing time, exactly. Or that they're getting. And expect over the first lap those chasers to pull back quite a bit. It might settle, and maybe that first lap we might see that.
Yeah, that's when it's concerning, when you know they're eating into your lead. Vanderson has gone to the front now of that chasing group, and this is going to be absolutely fascinating because we know he can shift. He's still only 20, the Texan. He's had a great start to the season, back-to-back wins at America's Cup races in La Paz and Miami. Yeah, Schofield's come right back now.
Just saw Sagiv there as well from Israel. He's right up there as well. I haven't seen him all race, but he's been in that pack and is now towards the front of the group. Santa from Spain. Still a lot of men there. There are people coming off. Feels like every lap or every half a lap almost is just one or two falling off that group as we move through this 10K. Oh yeah, it's really close now, but that group, it's been a big push. They've lost a lot of athletes off the back of the group in that, just that half a lap. And the three are Vanderson, Sagiv and Copeland, almost on DeVay. So
Ishak's gone a little bit further back as DeVay has to give way.
Not sure if there's anything he's going to be able to do to hang on to those three. He might be able to settle back into that group behind, but it feels like that top three have gone through pretty fast. So Vanessem, Copeland, Sagiv.
Yeah, you could throw a blanket over them at the moment. And there are the chasers.
So it's Yasumatsu leading the chasers. It's a big gap to close down at this point.
So there's the bell as they head out now on their final lap. Vanessem, Copeland, Sagiv, nothing to choose between them. Vannessen's been very aggressive actually on this run. He's wanted to be at the front.
It's about 10 seconds to the chasers.
Vanessem is keeping this pace really, really strong. Asking a question of the other two, can you stay with me?
They all had a look on that turn, didn't they? They needed to know how far ahead they were, make sure they're safely on the podium before they start this sprint.
Look at Sagiv coming through now to take it up on the inside. And now it's Copeland looks to be the one who's struggling a little bit. Sagiv and Vanessem absolutely stride for stride. Well, it's going to be a great moment either way. There's 10 years between these two. Vanessem is 20. Sagiv is 30. He's been trying for years to get a podium. He's going to get that. But is he going to be on top of it? And Copeland may not be done with either.
No, Copeland's not giving up. Little look behind from them. They've still got a long way to go. Well, a long way to sprint.
Sagiv has got to the front, but Vanessem is right there with him. Copeland a few metres off. Good that there's an official there to guide them.
This is it. This is it. Sprint finish now.
So now Vanessem is trying really hard to get to Sagiv, and it looks like he's going to get there. And the American superior sprinting speed is going to win the day here in Chengdu. 20-year-old is going to win this for the USA. Sagiv gets his first ever World Cup medal and gives it a fist pump, and Copeland comes home for bronze. Really exciting finish. 3 of a minute until the last few hundred metres. But the American just had the edge in pure sprinting speed.
Wow, what a finish.
Reese, gold here in Chengdu, first ever Olympic distance race. There was a lot of emotion as you crossed that finish line. Just tell me how you're feeling right now.
I can't even talk. It's like I put so much into this training block, and it's just like a World Cup, but it just means so much. And it sucks crying, but I mean, I'm just so proud of myself and my team for what went into this block, and that just silenced a lot of doubt in my head.
Incredible race today. Take us through the actual dynamics of the race. I mean, you made your way through on that bike. There was a huge group of you riding together. Just tell me what was going on to organise yourselves in that big group.
I mean, it was really hard for the first 3 laps or so when you were trying to get a good rotation going, and you couldn't really hide away on a course like that just because we're rolling so fast, and we really put in good work, and then we ended up catching the front. But as soon as we caught, it was just like an easy spin, and that's when it really gets pretty dangerous. So it was more about riding smart than riding hard, and me and my team, Mathis and Keller, all rode pretty smart, and we got off the bike all in the top 10, and we were set us up for just a solid run.
Now, on to that run, the tempo was certainly rising. You made your move sort of at that 5 kilometre mark. Just tell me, you were running shoulder to shoulder. What was going on in your own mind at that very moment in time?
It was a lot of trial and error because I got to the 5K mark and I was like, I've never run this far. And it was pretty long in the race, and I was trying to remember when to take nutrition and all that stuff. But, I mean, Viscat started pushing the pace pretty early, and Brandon Copeland as well, and I just tried to match it. And then you can kind of tell when people are starting to hurt, and I felt the group starting to hurt a little bit, and you stop hearing more and more footsteps, and it starts getting more and more quiet. And as it got that, I just started pressing, and then into that last lap, it was just whoever wanted it more, and I didn't think I wanted it more, but then I hit the blue carpet, and I stopped seeing straight, and I just went, and I turned out to win.
Silver medal here today in Chengdu. I know this meant a lot. Please tell me what's happening. How are you feeling right now?
Wow, yeah, I'm stoked. I'm 30 years old, 2 times Olympian, and only this time I managed to make a silver and a podium in a World Cup. It's a dream for me for many years, and finally achieved it, and I'm so happy with that.
You know, you bring so much form, so much experience onto a start line. Leading into this race, was there anything that you did differently? Were you feeling really confident about how you were going to execute today?
Well, after Paris, a lot of people did some changing, including me. I changed my team, I changed my coach, and this is the new beginning for the LA Olympic Games. And I think, yeah, they started something to combine together, and it seems like it's working.
Brando, bronze medal. The smile says it all. Tell me what's going on in your mind right now.
I'm, over the moon. It's been 6 years since my last podium. Had plenty of ups and downs along the way, but I've built some good self-belief in my training and the people I got around me, so I'm just over the moon to get back on the podium in a World Cup.
You've had a great start to 2025 in the Oceania scene. Did that give you a bit of confidence sort of leading into this World Cup?
For sure, yeah. Devonport taking the win there and sort of dictating things was really nice, and I think I was able to bring that confidence to the World Cup level today, and hopefully I can take it to my next World Series in Italy. So yeah, I'm hoping to ride the good vibes.
Bannison's first ever medal at 20. So we just check on the results again. Just 1 second was the official winning margin. Yasumatsu, an excellent fourth. That indeed was Antipov's fifth. Passemar, Grail, Martin Sobey, we saw the back of that bike grid pretty much the whole way round. Got himself in top 10 in the end.
I know, solid run for him. That's a really good result.
And Esteban Pasanta of Spain completing the top 10. Amazingly, in his first Olympic distance race, he's only 20. He was ranked #1 in the junior lists last year, and showing us that he is potentially a huge talent. Well, congratulations to all three medalists. They're just going to pose for a few photos.